Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar here today on how to balance home, work, and parenting. It is important right now in this time of COVID and working from home that we are able to find balance, not just in our work, but with our families as well. It's important here that we are able to find that balance for ourselves, for our productivity, and for our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Thanks for joining us today. We are here to discuss tips on just that, ways that we can find balance. We want to be able to be at home and be at a low stress level and have a happiness, relaxed atmosphere around us. We also want to be productive and have quality time with our families. So I am here today. My name is Tiffany, and we are going to discuss that. Let's get right into it. So we seek balance by prioritizing. We want to think about the need to support our family and the need to care for our family as well. And when these two ideas cause conflict, it's then time to reevaluate and reassess how we can be better, more efficient, and more productive in our home life, balancing work and family. There are ways that we can do things better, and here are our top suggestions. This quote is what I want to begin with because I feel like it is speaking to us with exactly what we are looking for today. On to finding balance, Daisy Dowling, a renowned career coach, put this quote out there for us. It's not about having the same schedule or the same consistency each day, but it's about finding a down the middle agreement with yourself and a way of approaching your work responsibilities and your family responsibilities that's truly sustainable in the long term. Now, we all have tips and tricks and ideas of how we can balance our home life, our family life, our work life, but sometimes those don't work out. Sometimes those are quick fixes, and we really need to find a sustainable way to keep that balance. My first tip here on finding balance is to get organized. When you are disorganized and you have clutter and you don't have a schedule, you might find yourself more stressed out, more high strung, less productive, and overall just a decreased feeling of happiness. So to get out of that, we're going to try to get more organized. This means if you are working from home or if you are still going on site to work, no matter where you are working, you want to be organized. You need to have a schedule. This can be a calendar schedule where you visually see what you have to do today. This can be a to-do list. Some form of a schedule is going to help you stay on task. It's going to help you be more productive, and it's going to make you feel more in control. Very important. You can use your calendar to schedule your meetings. You can use it to schedule Johnny's baseball practice. You use it to schedule in when you need to eat and take in more water so that you yourself are healthy and able to complete your tasks. You want to remember to be flexible with this schedule. Having a plan B for most things on your to-do list, knowing that things don't always work out as you expect them to. And for instance, say you have a meeting at 2:00 and you have a tutor coming for that time in your meeting so that you are not distracted. Your tutor gets canceled. You need to have a plan B, and that would be possibly a sitter on the side that you can call last minute and say, hey, I need you, can you be here? When you have these plan Bs set in place, when things don't work out as you expect, it still keeps that smooth balance, that efficient day of work and home life. That way your stress is down. That way you're still productive. You haven't freaked out. You didn't cancel your meeting. Johnny isn't banging on your door during your meeting. Make it easier on yourself. Make a schedule. Stay organized. Have a plan B. These tips are super important. Creating a to-do list or a filing system in a manner that you know what is expected of you each day and at what time. This is going to keep you, again, on task, focused, and productive throughout your workday. Speaking of the workday, one thing that I always put at the top of my list, something that I have learned in this era of COVID and working from home, is that you need to have a designated office space and office hours. It's extremely important. If you are like me, you can become overworked. You can multitask until the day turns into tomorrow. It is important for your mental and physical well-being that you don't overwork yourself. You don't want to spread yourself so thin, because here we are talking about that balance of work and family. If you're working past your office hours, you are leaking into your family time. You are exhausting yourself to where your time with your family isn't even going to be of quality. So please, if you take away anything from this today, make yourself a designated office space and designated office hours. This could be 9 to 5 if you like to keep it normal, 8 to 4. If you're a morning person, 6 to 1. Choose, but just keep those hours and stay within those limits. I know myself, I have a problem with this. I multitask, which I'm constantly reminding myself not to do because it's less productive. But when you do this, you leak into the rest of your day. I would work past 8 o'clock and then find myself tired and not having enough time to wind down between dinner and bedtime. So, takeaway today, first and foremost, is to set those office hours and abide by them. Let's move along here. Delegate. This is one of my favorite things, whether it's an assistant, whether it's a coworker, whether it is a smart gadget in your home. I cannot say her name because she will turn on and listen to me, but I'm going to tell you that she helps me remember things and keeps me on task. If it's even about drinking extra water, I will set a reminder every 2 hours. Tell me to drink a glass of water. Tell me at 5 o'clock that I have a yoga class. Remind me of my appointment at 1 p.m. So many things that you can delegate if you are not someone that writes in a planner or writes in a calendar or follows your Google Calendar. Have your smart gadgets do it for you. Set these reminders. I promise you it's going to help you out. So we want to talk about improving the efficiency of our home. This is something that helps me out daily. It helps my partner out daily. And I always get funny comments, but positive comments on how I always know where things are. I do this so that I don't get extra stress. So my keys, my purse, my mail, my money, all important things that I might need if I were going to rush out of the house would be in this command center that I call it. It's a table. When you walk into my house, it's at the left. I just put all of the important things there. Phone chargers, garage door opener, anything you can think of that's important to you that you might need that sometimes you lose. Make a command center in your home and start placing these items there. When you have to leave last minute and you're looking for them, you don't want to be rushing to find your keys, rushing to find your wallet. If it's there, you just grab it and go, less stressed, more focused, more efficient. Super good tip there. Carving out these dedicated spots and giving the important items that you need a home is going to keep that stress down and that efficiency high. Super important tip that I myself use frequently. So when we talk about this balance of work and home life, if you have children, if you have a partner that needs you, if you have pets, you need to have quality time here for yourself with each of those. We want to not just be balanced and efficient at work, we want to be balanced and efficient in our personal life as well. You want to be able to relax. You want to turn off the TV and have conversations about your day, especially with kids. There was a really stunning statistic that I found online regarding this quality family time and how it benefits your children. And I'm going to read that to you. According to the Journal of Adolescent Health, kids and teens who share family dinners 3 or more times a week are less likely to be overweight, they're more likely to eat healthy foods, get better grades, and are less likely to do drugs, drink, or become sexually active. They're going to have better relationships with their parents, fewer emotional and behavioral problems, greater emotional well-being, and they're going to be more trusting and helpful towards others and have a higher life satisfaction. I thought that was astounding. 3 dinners a week with the family can make this big of an impact on your children. So just keep that in mind. One thing that I always suggest to my friends that have children or in these webinars about balancing home and family is to have a conversation, whether it's at dinner, whether it's after dinner, while you're relaxing, about how your day went. I call it a high-low game. I'm sure most of you have played it. If not, try to incorporate it. It's pretty cool. You get to learn about the rest of the family's day, what they liked, what they didn't like, what they're grateful for, what they're hoping for tomorrow. Very cool game to play. It's moving into this next topic, strengthening the bonds with the rest of your family, children, partners, yourself. It's important that you take initiative and advantage of your off days. You don't want to just spend your entire off day on the couch. It is, even though it might feel good, it's going to be less productive. And I know you all have things to do on your off days. It's important, if you have children, that you're spending this off day, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's an hour, whether it's half of the day. You want to make sure and incorporate something special in the day with your kid. And that doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be taking them for a walk and asking them about how their day was. It can be reading a book together. It can be looking at what they've done for school and complimenting them on the positive parts. Making a little bit of extra time for the kids is going to really increase that bond. It is important that you read with your child. I know this is common sense, but I always touch on it because it really is important. It really does make an impact on their life. For instance, I bought my nephew a book about sharks the other day for his birthday. And when I saw him, all he could talk about was this lemon shark. And I thought he was just making it up because I'd never heard of it. But I, of course, Googled it, and there is a such thing as a lemon shark. So they'll learn things from what they're reading. They'll be excited to talk to you about it. You're making more of an impact on their life than you realize by just spending time with them to read. Another tip here, I am a nutrition coach and I do love to talk about food and healthy meals. And this is something that I've found to help with little children. A, to help them be happier with their food, and B, to help the conversation flow so that you're having that bond over dinner. Make sure that they like their meals. So this can even incorporate into that quality time, asking them what they like, giving them a colorful plate, letting them kind of direct the menu for the week or the recipe for the night. It's just going to give you that extra quality time with them. It's going to make them more likely eat a healthier dinner and be stoked about it. And they're going to really enjoy that they've been part of that process. Again, here you are balancing that home, enjoying that family time, and making that self-care time for yourself so that you have that balance at home. And when you go back into the work, you're going to feel much better. Moving right along and into that feeling better, that self-care, that is what we're going to talk about next. Practice self-care no matter how busy it gets. That spa day doesn't need to wait until it's post bad day. You don't want to wait to have a bad day to have a good day. Self-care can be anything that brings you joy, peace, or happiness. It is anything that's going to meet your emotional, physical, or mental needs. It can be something as small as drinking your favorite cup of hot tea before you leave for lunch, or when you get back, before you get back into that busy work day, or at the end of your day. Do something small for yourself every day. The most feedback I get on this tip is that I don't have time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time for self-care. But I've compiled a list of things you can do if you have 5 minutes, the most minimal amount of time that you should spend on yourself a day. A list of things that you can do here for self-care. Drink a glass of water. You're going to increase your hydration. That's physical and mental well-being. You're hydrated. You're going to be able to think properly. You're going to move properly. You're going to feel better. 5 minutes, guys. Diffuse some essential oils. Light a candle that smells like eucalyptus. It's stress relieving. Listen to an upbeat song. If you're stressed out and need to relax, listen to some classical music or something that is going to help you chill out. Songs are like 3 minutes long. If you incorporate this into your day, you're really going to tell a big difference. Give yourself a hand or a foot massage. Take a photo. If you're a selfie queen and it makes you feel good to take a good picture, do that. Stretch. Take 5 minutes to sit outside and get some fresh air. Big, nice, deep breaths. Breathing techniques. I've been doing this on my own and in classes. I've been teaching a stretch and breathing class. It takes 90 seconds to get your body into a rest and relaxed state just by simply breathing. 6 rounds of deep inhales and deep exhales to set your mind at ease and to bring your body back to a rested state. Try that, I promise it works. Cuddling a pet. Reciting a positive affirmation or mantra. These things work. Please try them. I have another set of examples here of things you can do for self-care. If you have 15 minutes, that's still not a lot, but there's so much that you can do for your emotional, your mental, your physical well-being. Here are some examples. Read a magazine. There is so many healthy magazines out there. Time is my new favorite right now. They've had some really good titles the last couple of months. Write in your journal. This is something that's going to help with self-development. It's going to help you vent. It's going to therefore increase your relaxation and be really good for your mental health. Cut out a 15-minute block in your day and say, okay, this is when I sit and write. If you can't write, doodle. Something that puts on paper what's in your mind is going to help put it at ease. Declutter your space. If you've got 10, 15 minutes, clean out your closet, reorganize it, because you know what, when you go in there and you need to pull something out, you don't want to have to look under piles of clothes. You don't want to have to look in the back of the closet for that shirt. You can see it, it's there. Less stress, more efficiency. Balance, that's what we're looking for here. Eat a healthy snack. Take 15 minutes, carrots and hummus, fruits, berries, protein shakes. Feeling good consists of eating good, and that incorporates right into self-care. So try that. Healthy snacks, less than 15 minutes. A face mask, paint your nails if you're a girl, meditate. This is another thing that I have been using in my daily life to help me find balance, to decrease stress, and to help me be more focused. There are a couple of apps that I really like to use, and it is my favorite to use, Headspace. It is a guided online meditation, and it is so simple. You don't even literally have to think about it. You're just going to sit, and it's going to tell you to breathe and what to do with your body, and it's going to really put your mind at ease. Calm is another one that I really like. if I'm having trouble sleeping, or if I'm having trouble getting in control of my breath. These apps really help. Meditation is huge. Please give that a try. Drawing, doing your hair, sending a thank you note or a thank you text, or taking time for a phone call just to check in with a loved one or a friend. 15 minutes, guys, that's not much, but there are so many things you can do here that constitute to self-care. Try some of them. I have another list, 30 minutes or more. This is, I know it might seem like common sense, but we really don't think about it until we talk about it. So I'm going to list here what I have for this 30 minutes or more. Watch a funny show, go on a hike, organize your kitchen cabinets, create a vision board. This is something that is extremely helpful for your future. I promise you. Last year I lived in one area of town and I dreamt of living in another, and I cut out a picture of a magazine and I put it in my planner and I left it there. I never looked at it again. It was there and I knew it, and I probably saw it as I opened my planner and shut it. And within a year, I was living in that part of town that I had cut out and put in my planner. These things work. Try them. I have heard this over and over. Someone said, I cut this house out when I was in college. I really wanted to live in a house like this. 10 years later, they're in the career that they love and they're in this home that they dreamt of. Try vision boarding, guys. Spend 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a week. Try it. Exercising. This is going to make you feel good. It's going to decrease your stress. It's good for your physical and emotional well-being. 30 minutes of exercise, guys. It's recommended for your health, and it's going to help with that home balance and work life. Try a new recipe, soak in the bath, take a nap, listen to a podcast. These are all things that are going to help you feel better, become less stressed, therefore increase your efficiency and your productivity with not just work, but with your family. If you are good, you're going to do good, you're going to be good, but it starts with you. So please pay attention to yourself, give yourself some love, take anything, 5 minutes a day to do something for you. Let's get back into that work efficiency. So in order for our life to be balanced and to be less stressed and to be more happy, we need to find the balance of work and self and home and family. We're going to talk about work, tapping into that work efficiency, setting those office hours, again at the top of my list, having that designated office space, having those designated hours and following them. Don't just set it and forget it. You really want to follow this. Don't allow for distractions. Some ways we can do this: we can use noise canceling headphones. We can shut the doors to our office space. I've had a couple of people tell me that while their kids are home doing their homework and they have meetings, it has been helpful to put a sign posted on the door, what time their meeting is, what time it's over, and please be quiet. And as minuscule as that might seem, it has been said to work. So give that a try. Keep your office supplies within reach. So if you have that designated office space, keep all of your printer paper, your pens, your pencils, your highlighters, your paper clips, your stapler. Keep all of that stuff within reach so that you don't have to leave the room to go find it. Because I guarantee when you leave the room, you're going to have a child stop you and ask you for something. You're going to get a knock at the door. You're going to find something on the floor that you pick up that then distracts you from what you're actually working on. That's going to decrease the efficiency, decrease your focus, and decrease your productivity. So, tip here, keep all of your office supplies within reach. One really big, important tip here for work efficiency, and you may have heard this touched on before, is multitasking. This is something that I struggle with daily. I want to work on everything and get everything done all at the same time. But unfortunately, that is not productive. So start with one thing, get it completed before moving on to a next, before moving on to the next. I promise you, working from top to bottom on a list and crossing something out before you start with the next project means you're going to get more done. Set goals, not just monthly goals, not just weekly goals. Set yourself a daily goal. That way you get more done. You're going to focus. You're going to flow through the day knowing what's next, knowing what's after that, knowing what's expected of you, and knowing in what order that needs to happen is going to help you get these things done. It's going to help you be less stressed in the process. You don't even have to think about it. You're just doing it. You're following the schedule. My last tip here for this work efficiency is going to be communication. So now we're here living in virtual work life, and we need to be able to communicate efficiently, effectively. We want to be confident. We want to be professional. We're using all kinds of different platforms here between Zoom and Start Meeting and team meetings and FaceTime. Whatever it is that you're using, become more close with it. Really study it. Really know how it works. Really challenge yourself to become more confident in front of the camera, because here we are in this virtual work world, and the better that we are, the better that we're going to be. The more efficient it's going to be, the more professional we're going to be, the better our day is going to flow. Less stress, more balance. That's what we're talking about today. So here we have a moment of Q&A. If you have any feedback for me, if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, we're here talking about balancing work life with family life, all at home, and trying to decrease the stress and increase our productivity. Some extra tips here that I have been given are, I had questions on what if you have to have your baby on your lap while you have a meeting. You know, some of these platforms allow you to go without a visual. You can still be involved in the meeting, talking through the chats or having your microphone on without having to show that your baby is on your lap, especially if they're just napping. So then going back again to being aware of the platforms that you're using and how they work is really going to help you if you come into these situations. Another question I had was, if I have a meeting and it's a certain amount of time, how do I keep my child quiet for that length of time? They're crazy and they're loud and they're running around, and I don't know how to keep that down while I'm in my meeting. And some suggestions that I had for that are to keep a couple of special items that are for these times. For instance, a really difficult Lego project, a really big puzzle that might take a lengthy amount of time to complete it, a new sketchbook with new coloring pencils or a cool pen to use. Using these tactics are going to help keep your children occupied and focused depending on the age range. Same concept though, whatever age range they may be. If they're a little bit smaller, the Legos might work, the puzzle might work. If they're a little bit older, maybe a movie, or let them rent something on Amazon Prime that's going to keep them, for a good hour or so. A book. Here we go, get into that reading with your children again. Get them a book of something that they're interested in. If you have daughters, they have these really cool bracelet making projects where there's all kinds of strings and beads and things that come with it, things to keep girls busy. Art projects. There are so many things that you can do to keep in a little special place until it's time and necessary and you have this allotted time that you need for work that you can put your kids into a focus station with some of these really cool things that you've saved up for them. Another question that I have gotten about balancing work is, how do I choose my office hours? How do I choose the best office space? And for me, the space with the least distraction is going to be the best for productivity. So if you have, and you'll see some people set up their offices in their bedroom where they can use maybe their TV as their monitor, or where they have a window where they can see outside. It is nice to have fresh air. So if you have a room with a window or a door that could be opened so that you can have fresh air, it's going to help increase that productivity. And the office hours, I say, look at your meetings, look at what you have due and what time of the day it's due. If you're a morning person and you have kids and they're up at 7 a.m., your office hours are obviously going to be in that 8 to 5 window. If you don't have kids and you get to choose a time where you're most able to focus. So if you're a morning person, set those hours from 7 to 3. If you're not a morning person, let yourself sleep in, because you're going to be more productive if you're not rushing yourself to be awake earlier than you normally would. Set those hours a little later. Maybe you're working 10 to 7. Maybe you're working 10 to 6. But be efficient for yourself. If you can, and you don't have children, but you have partners and pets, make the time that works best for you, because you're going to be more productive and able to really get into that flow and be less stressed and be less rushed. You're going to think better, you're going to move better, you're going to feel better. There are a few more questions that I have been asked regarding parenting and work balance. If you have children that have or are involved in extracurricular activities, and those activities flow into your meeting times or your work day, it has been really effective to have a family friend or a sitter that can come and help you. I even have friends that have a driver for their kids. It's a family friend. It is a driving service, whatever you trust, whatever you're comfortable with. Making sure that your children have a way to go about their day without interrupting yours is going to increase your productivity. It's going to keep the distraction down. It's going to make your day run more smoothly. Again, if it is a family friend, if it's someone that you know and you're comfortable with and you're paying them for this service, it's going to help. Delegate here. Delegate some of these responsibilities so that you can focus on your work, so that when the workday is over, you can focus on your family. It's really important that your kids continue to have that time for themselves, whether it's a private, karate session, or whether it is time with friends at the park. It is important to have help so that you don't get overwhelmed and stressed and feel like you're not getting things done or you don't have control. So tip there was to delegate some of these things through help with family or friends. Again, balancing work and parenting is a difficult task, but if you follow some of these tips, and hopefully you have heard some things that you can take away from this to help with your efficiency and your focus and your emotional and mental well-being, I am going to be so happy if it's just one thing, if it's the office hours, if it's the delegating, if it's the tips on spending that quality time and increasing that bond with your children. Find a takeaway here, even if it's just one, and work on that this week. And I promise you, you're going to see a big difference in the flow of your work and parenting and home life. Try the meditation. Try it. Give it a shot. Whether it's someone that you follow online that does it, I have a favorite person that I follow, and we're doing 100 days of meditation. And when you think of meditating, you don't think it have to be an hour. Mine are 15 minutes or under. And it is so helpful in my mindset and being able to control my thoughts and being able to control my breath to keep me focused, to keep me balanced, which is why we're here today to discuss all these tips and tricks on how you can do just that, finding balance with work and parenting. I hope you have enjoyed this webinar today. I am super thankful that you're here and that you are joining me, and praying that you hopefully have some takeaways here and that you're going to try them. I'm going to stick around here. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I will get to them. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Tiffany, and I am here as your fitness professional to help you find balance, decrease stress, and be more productive in your life.